Hello, I'm Jayan Bilathi. This house is called Jayan House. It is a house that is 127 years old. The specialty of this house is that it is a place where 3 or 4 generations have lived and passed away. So, without demolishing this house, I have now converted it into my office. Now, let's delve into the features of such a house. Now, in the early days of this house, people usually had small houses with basic amenities, unlike large mansions or palaces. The windows of such houses were very small, and what remains of those windows is what we have now. Later, when we did some designing, it was on these two sides that we completely removed and replaced them with an additional stylish window. A wooden window was installed there. When we reached that point, we surrounded the window with ferrocement and added a Lakshmi motif. I went ahead with that. Additionally, the beauty of the central part above is enhanced by the work done with ferrocement. Moreover, in the center, two Rajasthani style windows have been applied. One has been placed there. This changes the elevation of the house in that manner. There won't be a house like this in Kerala. A house with this style won't exist in Kerala, and this window won't be found in Kerala. Therefore, when we do something like this, and if architects beautifully lay it out, we can maintain such properties and make it possible. That's why. We can still maintain this 100 to 20-year-old house in the character of a new old house and character. In a similar manner, the pillars here were of various types and styles. We replaced them with ferrocement and added designs, enhancements, and comforts. And even if it was done 25 years ago, nothing will happen now. We can now create such pillars by replacing the old wooden beams. Using the old wood with the old beams and adding the ceiling and all, we can beautify the interiors. This is how it was, doctor. This door was really like this indeed. There are two door frames made around it actually. When everyone comes to sleep at 10 o'clock, this door itself becomes a very big event indeed. When you keep this door like this, it creates an extremely artistic entry. Similarly, this is the same old window from 120 years ago. Doctor. Then, the damaged parts were replaced and all of those bad ones were removed and released. This is what is called a kilivatil, a type of door, it's different. Everything here is made entirely of cement, but when you see it, it will be impressive. This used to be the old kitchen. The kitchen wasn't here, it was in a different section, it was on the other side of that section. That section was cut and removed, and then the well was made into an Indian property and a lot was given to it. Similarly, this was our old kitchen. Think about it. The concept of a Malayali kitchen would be in such a small kitchen, but back then it was for a large family. The place where the food was cooked and prepared was in that kitchen where the stove used to be. That colored glass was near me. We completely demolished the area where the stove was, cut it all out, and placed a fully colored door in that window. There was a small tower here, and we replaced it with this colored glass. So when the glass is replaced, the entire ambiance turns into one space. When the house is converted into an office, it only becomes a regular vote inside the office if it is treated with its unique ambience. So this was us. The spacious dining room was designed by me 25 years ago. I drew it myself, filled it with stylish pictures and sculptures, and I was the one working on it back then. The issue at hand is that I was the one who created that entire line. So, in that one work, since I was the one who created it myself, I drew it back then. So, after drawing it like that, in this room, what you see is commented on by the masons. It was something that used to be on top of the old house, placed on top of that pillar with the rods inside. And here, two were hit. And this table was made and taken there. We are doing it there, so it should turn into a lamp when that action effect interior came. And when we said the whole ambulance was off, it was taken and hit. So with several mics attached and a rotating chair, it's that kind of office, right? This is an office, an old in-style one, active in 11, brought here. See, what is being said here is that this is being sprinkled with green and yellow powder, turning the light into salt. Then, when the light was changed to certainty, it can be placed on top of the plate where the certainty is set. We placed it on top of the plate, and then it transforms into an extraordinary antique piece from a metallic era, and then it stops. What I meant is that it can be turned into an antique piece. So, because of that, the ceiling of what is being said here didn't have that feeling. Back then, when we did this, I didn't like what was called fashion. There is an event being mentioned, and then there are many plastic areas, many producers, and such projects are often not far away. So, if we placed it 20 years ago, a demolished house in Kutichira and Varghese would only get 30 rupees, and you wouldn't get a back papadam for that money. They brought an ore painted in the name of wood on the iron runner. That's how it was placed. Additionally, to allow natural light to come in, 4 or 5 glass tubes were made into 1.5. So the interior school received light, and an anti-finish ensured that dust and heat didn't come down. There was no problem with rats or tigers coming in. Then whether it's a wooden plank or charcoal, there's no problem if anyone comes. What I'm saying is that a real ceiling is needed, not a false ceiling. So now we can make it beautiful, as I mentioned. So someone did such a ceiling, and this is not a false ceiling, but a real ceiling for this house. We know how to beautify the interior of this room. The real feeling is that there is no sense of 2 people in a lot of space. This is a roofing concept with an anti-finish, beautifully done using glass and iron pipes, which we are displaying here. Similarly, this was a porch of the house, and as we enter this slope, we use iron in this slope. This is the beauty of wood. Organizing such pieces of wood and trapping them in an iron frame is what these 3 items are. They are placed in the iron frame. As you move forward, it becomes a beautiful slice. When we reach this place, we specifically note that this is a slope now, meaning we have done it on the side of the compound wall of this house's border. Once the compound is completed, the area becomes an artistic space. I mentioned earlier that this is a courtyard. In that courtyard, we have designed an iron frame with wood chips. If you whiten the wood grain, it looks good on teak. And when both come together, it resembles an English counter or a hairstyle. This mix is so well done. So this area is a compound, and the compound is being decorated with clay. Some masks and paintings have been placed there. Similarly, on the ceiling, a glass tube has been installed to allow good light to come in. During the day, the glass tube provides full design on top, creating a beautiful visual appeal when sitting there. However, whatever we do with this material, it won't be durable. These are all materials that are quite far-reaching. So we are using such materials. Outside of this, there is a large window. Outside this window, it's raining heavily. This is not real rain. It's not the monsoon rain. It's rain created by a motor. The sound arrangement of this rain inside the house is quite unique. That's the main feature of it. So it's a large design packing like that. What we've done here is create such a style. As I mentioned, if we have any material in this style or pattern, it's a tile pattern. The table here is something we made, and then there's a clay finish, a green finish, and a stone finish here, creating a natural color wonder, as I was saying. How many such houses are being demolished in here as well? Then this part is attached to it, but it's quite common indeed to attach it like this, so we can preserve it in a way that is very well. Once inside, you can go to many places. So we have implemented a design pattern like that here. All the items you see here are ferrocement products. We have placed ferrocement items to create this gallery. These are all designer tiles, ceramic tiles, and similar tiles. We have a shop where you can find such productions. Once you visit our shop, you can purchase these items. We also have such producers in our shop in Ernakulam, so if you need such items, you can buy them. What I am referring to as a design is something we always have. It could be a door, an accessory, or a rate that can be achieved, which is its specialty. So this is a large northern room, as they say. Here we have a pant rail with beautiful ceramic tiles laid out. There is a design pattern made with waste wood, and when we add an anti-style mirror and some effects, it creates a very beautiful visual appeal. Similarly, we have a window, a Rajasthan Indo-style scent window in between. All of this is a comment on the ferrocement window, which adds a lot of beauty to the room and transforms it into a colorful design. Similarly, the kitchen here is equipped with old brass vessels and utensils that were used in the past. The pattern on the top is reminiscent of the olden days, and it has been meticulously crafted. This is completely on the top, and we have tried to work on this style of design in every area. The ceiling was made from some old materials that were gathered and polished. We used old wood for this. Again, the results were achieved by planning the main beams and then placing old wood on top of them. So when we planned it this way and climbed up, we removed the soil and red bricks from the top of this fresh wood. Now this has been replaced with fresh wood. The runners in this corridor are all made of old wood, and any damaged wood has been replaced. The well-known pack hands were folded and referred to in Malabar, and when we say pack, it means the hands of that structure were removed and it was completed and cleared. After clearing this, a large space is created. From here, there used to be a passage for water to flow, which we cleared, and then we crafted a beautiful artistic antique window. Today, we placed several leaves on top of it, and then we will paint it green. In the meantime, we will make a green card, and when we do the green card, it will appear as if it is standing in a meadow. The work is ongoing, and once the rain stops, we will start working on it. So this is how it is. In this way, we transform this house into a plan box, and similarly, this section is aligned with that. This is the action room we saw earlier, isn't it? Yes, in the old small kitchen, we have made a large window here. This window is completely a dummy. It is never original. Everything you see here is centerpieces, and on top of that, the items we are talking about are flowers. All of these are placed to create an artificial window, and similarly, an art facade. This door cannot be opened or closed. The total payment is approximately above and below both sides of the expected amount. Even though it's okay, it's entirely the producer. All the carvings above it are Firoz's works. Then the items shown are my production, and what you see above is one dish. The flower between Urvashi is also what is shown in this section. Here, this is not a wooden pole. It's all metalwork made with just GI pipes. It's never wood, it's all GI pipes. This pipe is marching towards death. This pillar is entirely roasted, a ready model, and above it are dancers and this design. That's me. So with such a product of rose, how can we beautify a house? This is the evidence shown here of how we can beautify a space. The lights around it, the garden lights, etc., are all front lights. So nothing will happen during the years. Such lights and things like sculptures are all laid out in this house. The landscape here is what we are going to do. After the rain, it will transform into a building with a beautiful landscape. If you walk this way like this, after that, 2 water tanks are made. When you enter to do this in the water, there are lotus ponds and fish. The temple and lotus are complete with fish and everything in one water tank. Then after the water tank, when we go towards the light, there is an old Rajasthan style color. This is new with a touch of gray. It's not old, that's complete. And then this. This is not a comment made of wood. This tea drink and all is a complete sim. So cement of that kind was used here. Therefore, it held up well and gave a good thickness. Then similarly, this area is completed with some windows, and this work has been done for a full 25 years. All of this was done over a hobby on top of the soil. It has been 25 years since it was painted in play color, and this is an entry to the place we are talking about. There is a large Rajasthani color on top of this Rajasthani score, and you can see a beautiful water tank there. Well, the work is fully documented, and it is a water tank on a metal frame. So even the water tank can be ideally and beautifully made, as I am saying. Such a water tank has been made there, and this water body is present here. This is all part of the comment of that house. We applied that color. Then it is a Rajasthani style finish done with rice. This is from the old house. I mentioned it before. Now, what I said is that my office, which we started 25 years ago, was here. We took what was here and moved it, and there we made a big window. As I mentioned earlier, there's a compound behind this. To prevent it from being seen, she made a large Sarossaman door above me, and it is completely Roshan. There won't be a single piece in it, so a wooden door was made without any wood. Without any wood, 2 louvered doors were made, and without wood, the entire floor there is ceramic tile. If you do that, on top of it is a good one. Then it's a clever thing. Underneath it, dance forms are completely necessary. The upcoming rain is not the original rain, not the Karkidaka rain. It's motor rain. When the rainwater is recycled, a heavy rain happens here, creating a field we can make. The water body placed there is a very beautiful water body. Next to that water body, as I mentioned, the sculptures underneath are what you see, filled with dance forms, as I completely mentioned. What I'm talking about are matters within the company. Then a heavy rain can be created inside this room, and it's very active. At that point, we can transform it into a courtyard if desired. This room has such a pattern. It was in this room that everything was brought back from the old death, desiring to renew in the old style. Once I saw it in the resort, it might be 100 years before we complete it. To cycle, 2 doors are demolished here, and everything here is handmade tiles that we made. Currently, we are not in production. Everything you see in this market, which we made over 10 to 30 years, is made from old door wood. The pictures you see here are just done with tempera power and then in. However, the design that has been done, all of them are very artistic Kerala-style designs for each symbol. Such designs can be beautifully incorporated into the things I am talking about in the house. This is for people to recognize we can do it like this, we can do it like this, we can then do the kitchen like this. So this is an old corridor. In the past, it was not possible to enter this corridor. Do you know what the big problem was in old houses? It was this corner. So this corner, when we used to climb like this, people today can't handle it like they used to. Back then, the corner was in that direction, and it was made like that. We dismantled it and cut the runner where it was placed. After cutting the runner, we took this caul and placed a board on top of the iron to check. These are just work rods, and these are just casting pieces. This is a G pipe made of iron, and on top of that pipe, the name of gold is placed. Then with a complete gold finish, this is being changed. So the specialty of this corner is that it can be seen very comfortably. Very comfortably, it's not the problem it used to be. There are no steep issues, and regardless of age, one can very beautifully reach the top of this hill. So when we reach one, the specialty is, this is the room. There wasn't a big person in one. That hall is complete. After all the cement and iron pipes, it will be perfect as if it exists. This is the finish of 25 years of work. Then, once we are done, we are putting cement borders on top of the tiles. There are 13 mirrors that completely transform this hall. Those mirrors will make the hall look bigger, and no matter what picture you place there, this beauty will never be lost. So, 3 mirrors like this are decorating this room. The old wooden floor is here, and if we want, we can do carbon on top of it. So it's set up for charging. See, earlier we saw outside, I am the form that existed before, and here we are giving it while sitting. So when the cement is given and it turns into a beautiful me, this window is all we have. The wood on top of it is the service, and then we are transforming it into an artistic window with intricate carvings that are a century old. When it becomes artistic, these frames we are talking about are just wood dust. The very old window works are set in an iron frame. So this room has been transformed into a beautiful cabin. What I am saying is that with the materials available to us, we can design our homes, our institutions, our resorts, and our other houses beautifully like this. This is an example I am showing you so everyone understands, right? A 120-year-old house doesn't need to be demolished, does it? If you have space at the back, you can add facilities as you like. At the back, we can easily create a beautiful house with comfortable bedrooms and an old-style wooden design. There is no doubt about it. Such houses should not be demolished. These types of houses should be preserved. For the next generation, there was such a condition, such a lifestyle, and such a concept. This is suitable for the climate of Kerala, which resists nature's heat and cold. The existence of Kerala's additional residences and such heritage buildings is important now for Kerala's. Even if tourism is the future, the foundation for Kerala's success in all other fields is a village, a country. On a broader level, the important thing is that we have such houses as our assets. These are the buildings that will become our assets in the future. With that, I conclude. See you again. Goodbye.